Hello netizens, my name is Karthik Kaushik and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I am starting to make tutorials related to video making and editing, and my first video is going to be about how to assemble a basic video. So I have seen and heard people facing problem who want to make a video out of the photos or videos collection that they already have to probably give it like a memento to someone, or just to keep it for themselves, or probably share it on social media. So those people do not know how to make a video inside of an editing program. So I will be helping all those people out in constructing a basic video with some text, with some background music, how to cut the video, how to assemble photo with the video, and how to give it a nice look overall. So the editing program I am going to use is going to be Premiere Pro for this tutorial and also for the upcoming tutorials, and I hope by the end of this tutorial you will be having a fair enough idea of how to make a basic video out of Premiere Pro. So let's jump right into it, and when I say jump, I literally mean it. So now we are at my system, and let's quickly fire up Premiere Pro. Small information here, it says artwork by Yuri Shvedov. So this photo is submitted by Yuri Shvedov to Adobe, and Adobe replaces these pictures, and the best one gets to feature on the Premiere Pro open up screen. So this is the list of projects that you have worked on past. Right now on your system it will be showing nothing, so you just need to click on new project and name the video over here, whatever the name you want to give to your project. For the sake of this tutorial I will be giving it tutorial, okay, and rest of them are some advanced settings. Probably if you want to, then you can change your path from here, but for the sake of this basic tutorial you don't need to maneuver with any of these parameters, and click OK for now. Okay, so finally we are inside our project, and as you can see, first things first, there is this blue box around this section which says that this panel, now this is a new word, panel is all the sections that you see, that all the partitions that are made out in Premiere Pro, these are called panels. So what is selected right now is called the effect controls panel. On the right of it is called program panel. This is the effects panel, this is timeline, and to the left of it is the project panel. So what all these things are, I will be showing you in just a minute. So first thing what we will do is look at this project panel. Project panel is basically the library of everything. Whatever the photo you import, whatever the video, whatever the text you create, whatever the music for your video that you import, this becomes the library of everything. For importing you need to double click on here. You can also simply open the file explorer separately and go to that particular folder, whatever you wish to, and then as usual with the windows you can select multiple items and press. As you can see, it has selected 42 items. You can hover it over Premiere Pro and drag it over there. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is to double click here and again go to whatever the folder that you have stored your media in. For now I will be using one of my projects, the music video that I created. So for the sake of this tutorial, let's import these 5 items. Once you've selected all the items, you need to click on open. It's importing files, and bang, those files are over here in our project panel. Okay, so this is the library only. Okay, so we cannot see what is inside of them. However, you can change the look of it by going over here, and these things I will not show you in this video because it will confuse and complicate the things. For this is just the random position of the media that we imported. So to give a meaning to them, you need to create a sequence of this media, sequence of their occurrence. Okay, I will show you in a minute what I mean. So first things first, you will need to select any one item, left click on it, keep holding it, and as you can see right now there is a little prohibited kind of sign along with the cursor, and as soon as you bring it into the timeline section, timeline panel, you will see that there is a plus icon. We will drop the media in our timeline panel. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as we dropped the media, other features of the timeline have started to show up. What are these features? We will get to know in a minute. So this is the playhead. So playhead is just another name for cursor. So wherever this playhead will be, you will be seeing your media in the program monitor. A program monitor is something like a visual window of the timeline. Whatever you will be doing visually, you can see it over here in program monitor. So as you can see that effect control is empty now, and the reason of it, the Premiere Pro says that no clip is selected. In our timeline, we need to go back and we need to select an item for Premiere Pro to show its properties in effect controls. So let me click on it, and as soon as I click on it, you will see that there are various options now available related to that particular video we just selected. There is position, there is scale, rotation, this anchor point and anti-flicker we will be knowing in some other video, opacity, the time remapping. Position is basically the X and Y position of this video with respect to the center point. When I increase it, it will move to the right, and when I move it to the left of the default value or less than the default value, it will move to the left, and same goes for the Y position. And you don't need to worry much about what these values were when you did not change it. You can just simply click on here, that's reset parameter, so it will bring it down to the default values that were there. Next is the scale. Scale is basically the zoom in and zoom out in the layman words. So you will be zooming in and zooming out of your video or photo or text or whatever based on your liking. Rotation is again self-explanatory. The video will start rotating, and you can set whatever the rotation you want, but for the sake of this tutorial we will not be touching this value. This is opacity and this is time remapping. So these are the two parameters that we might need to use in order to make the basic video that we are working on right now. Okay, and the last panel that needs explanation is the effects panel. However, we will be using some basic transition or something like that, so for that we will show you once it is required. Coming back to the timeline, as you know that whenever you capture a video, it's not that entire video is usable, so you might be wanting to chop off some unusable area of that video. So for that you need to first take your playhead to that position where you want your video to start from. Let's say I want to start the video from here, and whatever that is behind this playhead, I want to remove this section of the video. So for this I need to go to the tools panel and click on razor tool, and you can also, as you can see, you can enable it by pressing C, also the C alphabet key on your keyboard. So press C. As soon as I bring this razor tool close to the playhead, this T sort of symbol starts appearing over here and over here in the bottom. What that means is that the magnetic selection of this razor tool with respect to this playhead is enabled, and as you can see the shortcut for this one is S. So when this is enabled, whatever you will be doing is working in a magnetic manner. Okay, so I want to remove the area before this playhead, and I don't want to cut the wrong part of the video. So for that I must ensure that this snap is enabled. Only then it will cut on right on the playhead. Right now my snap is enabled. I am confident that it will cut on this section only, so I will click here, and as you can see it has separated both sections and the left one is highlighted. For deleting it, I can right now also press the delete button, but in some cases what happens that the right section, the section that you want to keep, gets selected. So what will you do is you will go back to your selection tool by pressing V. Okay, remember C is for cutting and V is again back to selection. So suppose this area was selected when you cut off from here. You need to activate this selection tool and select the area that you actually wanted to delete. So now you can press delete, and that unwanted area or unwanted section of the video is chopped off. Now as you can see we are at 5 seconds, and now if you see that when you play the video the initial 5 seconds will be playing blank, but you don't want that. So in order to make this the first frame, you need to left click and hold it and drag it to the initial position. Now when you will play, the video will start playing from the starting. And now coming to the audio part, suppose it was a family function and it was very noisy, so you can simply press delete from here. And later on what we will do is once the video that we wanted visually is created, we will be placing a nice background music to the video so as to give it a nice feel. And for this video, let me see what section I want. Yeah, as you can see there is some sort of shake. So the right area to this playhead I want to remove. What I will do is again the same thing. I will select the razor tool and ensure that my snap is enabled. I will cut this video off. Right now as you can see no area left or the right is selected. So for selection what I will do is go to my selection tool and select this area, and yeah, for zooming in, now as you can see that the left area is easily clickable and the right section is quite small for me to select. Sometimes it's even smaller. So what you will do is keep your playhead at the position where you want to zoom in and left click and hold it and move it to the left. So as you can see, smaller is this you can say bar, the more zoomed in we are into the timeline, and we can see the small things. So as you can see that earlier we were on this bar length. As we reduced it, the smaller video section that we were unable to click earlier, we can click on it easily. Okay, so this is the unwanted portion as you remember. Then I will press delete. Now coming back to the items, I want to, let's say now, add a picture to the video, and now I have added the picture. But one problem is there. If you see, that picture is very zoomed in. That is because of the difference in resolution of the picture that we captured and the video that we captured. Why is it happening technically? I will be explaining you in some other video. But for now, to make this picture look fit into the frame, I will scale it down because it is zoomed in right now. So we need to zoom out until it fits the frame. So I will hover over the scale value and click and drag it to the left side to reduce this value. Now if you see on 31% or 30%, I can see the black bars on the left and right side. It means I have zoomed it out a little more than required. So what I will do is keep it just slightly ahead of 31, but you can adjust this value as per your taste. And now if you see that the head of my friend has cut off, so I will be adjusting the Y position. Okay, you can also type in the values, but for the initial purpose it's better if you click and drag the values. because it will be easier for you to see in program monitor the appearance. And I feel he should be a little more on the center side, so I need to move him to the right. Now if you remember, then I have to drag it to the right side to take it to the right side. So I think this looks good, and let's see if we can add some other media. Let's add this video. Okay, so we have added this video, and if you'll play it now our next video starts playing. Okay, so let's say I want to remove this area, this that you see on the left of the playhead and in between that photo. I want to remove this area. As you know that what I will do, I will press the C key or take the razor tool and select it over here. Now as you can see that again none of the items that I cut off is selected, so I will go back to the selection tool. I will select the media that I cut off and delete. Again there will be some black screen because there is no media in between them. So what I will do is, my selection tool is selected, I will click and hold it and drag it to the left side until it snaps. And now you see between the photo and the new video that I'm dragging, there is that again T sign that shows that both the media are now connected without cutting any frame of each other. That's important thing. Okay, if you disable the snap, you never know what frame of both the videos that you are adding may be cut. So to avoid the risk, always work with the snap option on. Okay, again, so the audio that came with this video, I will be deleting it because we have to add a background music to it. Next thing is, suppose this video is playing and you have added a photo after that, but this photo is coming for a very long duration. So to reduce its duration, if you hover over it, you will see in this pop-up that duration is 4 seconds 23 frames. So it's almost 5 seconds. So what I will do to reduce its duration is that there are two ways of doing it. You can either take your mouse and take it almost to the end. You will see that red sign has come up. So what you will do is left click and hold it, and as you move it towards the left side, you will see that duration is changing in real time. So this way we can shorten the duration of picture. And what we'll do is, again the black space is created, we will left click and hold and drag it to the left side. So now you will see that the photo will appear for a shorter duration, and this looks okay. The next thing what we'll do is add a video transition. Some basic transitions are fine, and to create a basic good looking transition, you need to keep in mind only these two transitions. First is dip to black, another one is cross dissolve. Dip to black is generally to give a smooth intro or smooth outro to a video, or it can also be added in between the multiple items. For this one, let's say I have added a cross dissolve in between the photo and video. And for the second one, let's say I am trying to drop this dip to black transition. Now what these dip to black and cross dissolve transition look like, we will see in a minute. So let's say I am playing the video now. Earlier, as you can see, if I click on the transition and I delete it, let's say, so you will see that at 00 you can straight away see my video appearing. This might be the choice of individual, but what is always better is to initiate a video with a black screen. Okay, so what I will do is I will select the video and I will left click on the effect and drag it to the video in the starting. Once you drop it, you will see that at 00 my screen converts to black, and as you will play the video will start showing smoothly starting from the black screen. Okay, and let's take it forward. And if you remember, we added cross dissolve in between this video and photo, so we will see how this cross dissolve will look. Okay, so let's play again. So the first one is fading out into the second one, and second one is fading in to the first one. This is how the cross dissolve gives a distinct look to the transition. And if you remember, the next transition that we have added is again dip to black, but this time it's in between the two videos. So this is how dip to black works in between the video. And reason why I added dip to black at the end also is to finish it softly instead of a harsh finish like this. Let me show you. You will see how harsh it was, and if I add the dip to black transition at the end of the video, it will end up very smoothly. Okay, so the basic look of our video is completed. So what we have learned till now, we have learned to chop off the video, we have learned what the snap tool does, we have learned how to cut the video, select the video and delete the video, and the last thing that we have added is the transitions and how these both cross dissolve and dip to black transition look. And what remains now is the text option. For text, you will need to go into the project panel. You see there's a new paper folded sort of icon. It belongs to new item, and when you will click on it, it will give you some options, and text or title will be one of them. So you need to click on title. You can name this title whatever you want, like the introduction or some guest list or the outro or something like that. Whatever the name, doesn't matter much. So for now you can click OK. So as soon as you click OK, it opens up the text editor for you. For adding a text, what you need to do is first define a space where you will be typing in your text. So as you can see over here, there is a little arrow. When I will click on it, it will start creating the space. The space will be in shape of a rectangle. So left click and hold it. You will see that a rectangle is being created, and I will leave it over here. You can see the appearance of text from this drop down. Let's say we want to create a text in this font, and now we will click again on this text editor, and now we will try to write the text based on wherever you want to place this text. I will write Bhaskar Gaur. And if you see that contrast between the text that I have typed and between the background is not very high, so I cannot see what I have typed right now. I just made a spelling mistake over here. Yeah, Bhaskar. So for seeing the text clearly, you can disable this show background video option, this I like logo on the video. So it will disable the background video. Now the text is added. Okay, suppose that's all you wanted to type, and it's not coming in the center. As you see, it's coming on the top left corner. So for bringing it into center, we will go to the selection tool. We will reduce its size, or you can keep the size of the square like this at the first place when we created it, and you can center it from here. There are two options: center it vertically and center it horizontally. We will press both. Why it did not come in center is because there is no space over here, so we can reduce this box size from here. Okay, now when you will press center it vertically, it will bring the text to the center, and once this is in selection mode, you can increase the size of the font. Okay, so now as the size of box is smaller than the size of text you created, now you need to go to the corner and drag it to make the text visible. While this selection mode is on, you can place the text box anywhere you want. We like to be in center, so we'll again press center horizontally, center vertically. So now you have created your text, and you can close this window. But you will see that where you added the text has not appeared as of now. Why is that happened? Because title that you, or the text that you have created, is added into the library first. Okay, so you need to left click and hold it, and again drop it down in the timeline as we did for the photo and video. Okay, so now you see the text has appeared. Similarly to the photo, you can adjust the duration of this title for how much duration you want it to appear on screen. So I have reduced it, so you will see that text is coming for a shorter duration of time. So the last thing we can do to the title is, if you see that when the title appears, it appears very abruptly, and also it disappears very abruptly. So what we will do is bring this playhead at the start of this text. You can also press left and right key to make precise adjustments. So now this is where my text has started. What I will need to do is that create a keyframe, and whatever the settings I am doing on this keyframe, I am asking Premiere Pro to remember that setting. Okay, so we will give this opacity. Opacity is basically the percentage of transparency that I want to keep that particular item at. So right now in the initial position I want to keep it at 0, so I will press enter. And suppose first let me increase the duration of this text, as we might need it. And let's say we want the text to appear over here completely, so we will add another keyframe over here. Okay, and we will increase the percentage to 100, because 100 is basically 0 transparent and 100% visible. So opacity is basically the visibility. Now you will see that text has appeared now. And what Premiere Pro does is that in between these two positions, it will start increasing the visibility of my item on which I created a keyframe slowly to whatever percentage I have put on the next keyframe, and maintain it after that. So if we'll see again, the first keyframe we created with 0% visibility, so we cannot see the text. And as you hover it and move it forward, by the time next keyframe arrives, it comes to 100%. And now again, I don't want to disappear it very abruptly, so what I will do is almost create the equal distance keyframe at the end of the video as well. So I will press keyframe here, and in between these two keyframes, since I have not changed any value, so it will maintain at the same 100% value. And what I will now need to do is play with my left and right arrow key and go to the end of the text where it goes off abruptly. Now I know that this is the last position of the text. I will add another keyframe, and as you might have guessed by now, that I will put it to 0. So now you will see that when I try to play the video, the text will start appearing smoothly, and it also ends up gradually. So it's not a very harsh sort of starting and ending. Similarly, this is similar to what we did to the video. We added a dip to black effect to it and also ended it in the same way, and that's what also we are doing to the text to give it an overall smooth look. So now the last step remains for this video to complete is a nice music. So Now I successfully added the audio. Okay, so let's say you want to keep this music to the length where your video is ending. So I just pressed C to enable the razor tool. Now I will again press V to go back to the selection tool, and I will click on the right section where my video is not there. I will delete this section, and that's how I will create my video. Okay, so we just created a video, a very basic video in the Premiere Pro. Now comes the most important part, how to take this video out of this software and finally share it on your social media with your beloved ones. For that, what you will need to do is left click and hold and select all the items. As you can see, all the items are gray, so that shows that it is selected. You need to go to file, you need to go to export, and you need to go to media, because that's what we have selected. It's all media. And from here you don't need to get confused much. You just need to select H.264. that's a compression quality. That's you can say the almost standard for all the digital platforms also. So you can keep this to match source or high bitrate also, but what you can do is that take it render at maximum depth. As long as you click on it, you will see that this high bitrate is changed to custom now, because we have told Premiere Pro that render it at maximum depth. Whatever the bitrate was there at where it was captured, I do not want that. I want it to render at maximum depth. Now what is this maximum depth? That we will be explaining in some other video. And right now, yeah, you can hit export. So first it renders audio, and audio has been rendered. Now it's rendering the video, and this estimated time remaining that you see is based on your processor speed. If your video is heavy on effects and your processor is slow, God help you, because Premiere Pro takes very high amount of time in rendering the video. But for now we have not added much effects to the video, and also the length of our video is very less. That's why it's showing the duration of less than 2 minutes, but it will keep on increasing and decreasing, so we will leave it to here. And once your video is imported, you will find the video on the path where you created it. Okay, so that's how you create a basic video in Adobe Premiere Pro. And as we move on to the next tutorials, we will be knowing much more about it.
So this was it for the first video, and if you have any suggestion related to my videos on what kind of features you want to see in your probably second video that you are going to make in Premiere Pro, you can suggest me in the comments below. And please let me know your feedback. It will be helping me make better videos for you. And also, if you are interested, do let me know if I should make the Hindi version of this tutorial, so you can feel comfortable while understanding the videos. Okay, with that said, I wrap up this video and see you soon in the next one. Peace.